Surprise, surprise, I am live. I didn't even post any Instagram post or any Facebook post. I figure whoever was sticking around here really like waiting for me to come up, then they would be here. And if there's no one here, then we'll have a quick chat real quick. So if you're coming on in, don't forget to say hello so that I can give you a little bit of a shout out. I thought today we could just talk about staying consistent. I know that you guys know that I have been doing crazy stuff this month, and I know I'm starting to look like a little bit haggard. Dang, I got a cold sore, which is a combination of not keeping up on my water and electrolytes and staying hydrated combined with the stress of my life right now. And I'm like, woke up this morning and I was like, really? That's inconvenient. And I didn't put any makeup on or anything either. I have leftover makeup from like 2 days ago. Sorry, guys. That's just how it is. Anyway, I'm going to see who's here. There's a few of you. So I would like to give you a shout out if you are here. Let's see. Stephanie Richardson. Hey. She's an in real life friend. Hey, Steph. Janice Pate, welcome. Tammy Wilson, hello. Kim Dudra, hello. Life as Jules, hello. Monica Wilson, oh, you are in warm Southern California. It's cold in Utah. Thankfully, not as cold as it is in Colorado and some of the few other places that friends of mine have been posting on Facebook. Snow today on May 21st. That is crazy. It made me grateful for the cold weather because it is pretty cold outside today, but it's not snowing. So I'm pretty grateful that it's only cold and not snowing. I'm feeling bad for a lot of the country right now that's going through some tough times with tornado watches, things like that. And even in India, where my daughter was born, they just survived a huge cyclone that came through. They call them cyclones over there, which, you know, the same. But anyway, a huge cyclone came and decimated the area my daughter was born in, and her orphanage is still standing, but they have no electricity or anything. And we're trying to work together to get enough money to get a generator for them because it's been 3 weeks and I guess another one is supposed to come through. It's really scary weather out there. And a friend of mine was able to work out a donation situation with her church, and we were able to raise the $2,200 necessary to buy a generator for the orphanage. So all over the world, there is a lot of crazy weather. So today when I walked outside and it was sunny and yet freezing, I thanked my lucky stars that that's all we're dealing with today, because there's lots of people in the country dealing with some crazy weather and of course all over the world. So hang in there if you guys are in the tornado watch zone. I hope you guys are okay. Praying for everybody, worried about everybody. And even those of you who are suffering through snow right now, my heart goes out to you. Snow is terrible. So yeah, I thought we'd just come on here and see if a few people decided to pop in and say hello, and maybe we could just chat about staying consistent, because you know that I have had the hardest month is May for me. So we come into the spring, we come into competition season in March and April, and it's kind of tough, but I can mostly stick it out and keep fairly consistent. And then May, and it's like it's all over. And if I were to just abandon all of my keto knowledge and plans in May, which I could easily do every single year because it is a crazy ride in May. I literally don't have downtime. In fact, I'm editing photos all morning, and as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to be editing until we have to leave for dance. That's just, I'm going to have to edit constantly, and my video uploading is becoming quite tricky because it's hard to balance the two things. So I could easily abandon my keto knowledge and I could abandon my plans and just put on however much weight. Am I disappointed that I have put on so much weight this month? Yeah, I am. I'm kind of bummed out about it. It kind of sucks. I'm hoping a lot of it is water weight, and we'll find out next month if it is, or at least, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to be going to Denver, like I said in my last live chat, the second week in May, and going to be doing this huge, like, we're driving. So a huge, like, I don't even know. It's like 10 hours drive or something, which is a long time to be on weight loss keto. I am a boredom eater, That's my worst one. And also stress. So, like when I'm on a time crunch deadline, that is one of my big triggers. So, I planned in advance that I would just let myself eat protein bars and things like that in order to feel like I was kind of cheaty-ishing, but not really doing too much damage to my body. So, yeah, I'm kind of bummed out that this morning I weighed in at 190. So, yeah, but you know what? I told Dave, I'm like, I just can't even care. I just want to kick the scale because I just can't. I'm just like, scale, you should cooperate with my brain because my brain says it shouldn't be like that. But the scale says what it's going to say, and I can't care. I just can't. I have too many other things to worry about right now. So, what I wanted to talk about was staying consistent through times in life that are difficult. One of our moderators over there on Keto Chaos Facebook recently has gone through a really difficult time. Her name is Teresa. Teresa, sorry, my mouth just got away with me. And she's just struggled with her parents. She's got one parent who is dealing with cancer and another one who needs to be put in long-term facility care. And she's got all of her kids that she's managing, and she's homeschooling, and it's just a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. And there are times in our lives when we are going to face difficult challenges. There's going to be times where we're just too busy to think about it, like what I'm going through, or there's going to be times where we're hard things like the death or sickness of a loved one, or dealing with things that we weren't expecting, like having to have a parent live with us. There's lots of things that are going to happen in life. That's just part of life. One thing I try to teach my kids is that life was not ever meant to be easy, and it isn't easy. And the easy parts are the part that remind us to just take a breather and then go back into the nitty gritty work. Because life is about work and challenge and about accomplishing things through difficult moments. I mean, all think about all the stories that you love to read, all of the books, all of the movies. There is always a huge monumental conflict that the person in this story has to overcome. And life is no different. It is just a huge story. So basically, what we have to do when we're in weight loss and we aren't the kind of people that can just eat whatever and not suffer the consequences, we have to have plans for what we're going to do to stay consistent through those difficult times. And my monitor, Teresa, did a super good job. I think she ate off plan a few times, but considering what she could have done, she could have undone so many months of work in a short period of time by just abandoning everything and just saying, I can't. I'm just throwing it all to the wind. But she didn't. She tried really hard to stay consistent. She did exactly what I'm doing right now, eating lots of high fat foods and just trying to fill up those spaces of stress with safe things so that she didn't slip into eating things that could cause her to go on a slippery slope of months and months of falling back into habits that aren't good and situations that are bad, and having so much work to accomplish when she finally gets to the point where she turns around. And me, I'm going to be facing this kind of May every single year for a very long time. The way we pay for our kids' dance is that they allow me to not pay part of my tuition the whole year. So I have a mean, nasty bill at the end of the year. I mean, we're talking thousands of dollars. And I have to do dance portraits in May in order to pay the bills. And I love it. So don't get me wrong. I love every single thing I'm doing. I hope I don't sound super negative when I'm saying I'm super busy. It's just that all of these great, wonderful things that I'm doing are already taking up all of my time. And so I don't have time for anything else. And so I don't even have time to like relax. Like there's no downtime except sleep. And that's okay. I don't mind it. In fact, May may be one of the hardest months of the year. It probably is the hardest month for me, actually, of the year. It's hard for a lot of people, I've noticed. It's not, it's very busy, but emotionally, it's also stressful for a lot of people for various reasons. But for me, it's actually my favorite month. So I hate to make you guys feel like I'm overwhelmed, because sometimes I am for sure overwhelmed. Are you kidding me? Because a person cannot accomplish all the things I have to accomplish. It's just there's not enough minutes in the day to do it. It's just not possible. So then I have to make prioritizing be an ish thing and like decide which things are the most important that I absolutely have to get done. So am I cleaning my house at all? No. Are we doing homeschool? The kids are doing it basically themselves. And any homeschooling that's happening is also the kids handling it. But I will tell you that the other day, It was actually Sunday, I think, right after I made my video or after church, I guess. I basically came down and just read the riot act to the kids. And I basically said, it is ridiculous that I have to be down here babysitting you guys for you to keep this place cleaned up to a reasonable level because this is ridiculous what it looks like right now. And just because I have to work doesn't mean that you guys just can throw everything caution to the wind and do whatever you want. So I threatened to take away every electronic device in the house. Every single one. Phones, video games, TVs, you name it, PlayStations, they're all going to be gone if the house wasn't clean by that night. Shockingly, guess what happened? House was clean. I usually don't reserve the major scares unless it's really necessary, but gosh, it's hard because like I can't do the things I normally do, which is, remind the kids what to do next and keep our routine going and all of that when I'm spending all day, every day in front of the computer. My ankles are swelling up, my back hurts, my butt hurts. Oh man, my butt hurts so bad. Guys, that is one thing about losing the cushion. Yeah, let's just say it's not comfortable to sit for hours and hours and hours anymore. I had such a nice cushion before, and now I'm thinking I need a new chair. Oh man, it has been painful to sit in that chair for, 7, 8 hours at a time without a break. And it's been like that for days and days and days. So, yeah. I'm glad it's Tuesday tonight. I get to go to my clogging class, and tomorrow I'll go to my last ballet class probably of the month. I don't think I'm going to go again this month. And I don't know for sure if I'm even going to do the Wednesday afternoon class because I'm kind of just beat and I just kind of feel blah. But yeah, anyway, so that's the motivation for today is have a plan to stay consistent, even if it means you kind of fly off the rails with your keto. I mean, a lot of people have been saying like, you're being a little crazy here with your food. And I'm like, you know what? I got to do what I got to do. It's better than eating a box of donuts, which is what I would resort to in the past. So I feel like if I'm eating a couple of protein bars and some peanuts, that's not so bad. But yeah, the scale has been not nice to me, and I'm not super happy about it. And I'm hoping that in June it'll get back to normal and I won't have to panic anymore. But I can't deal with it till until June 2nd. June 2nd's the day that maybe I can start to focus on it again. We'll see. I do have two big parties at my house the first week of June, June 3rd and June 8th. And then on June 9th, I leave for Denver. So maybe June's not going to be as easy as I think, but it's definitely not going to be hours and hours and hours of editing photos. That's going to be done. So that's it. So that's my motivation for today. If anyone has any questions, I would love, love, love to help you, talk to you, or whatever, or we can be done and I can get back to editing. Oh, Stephanie. Yep. I am also photographing Stephanie's daughter's wedding next month. Woohoo! Super exciting. I haven't done a wedding in a little while, and I'm looking forward to that. Let's see. Hey, Keto Michelle. Hey, Nayla Saul. Hey, Terry Jamerson. Okay, so you're having a hard time getting back on track because you ate a piece of cake and it's just kind of checking you out at keto, right? Yeah, that happens a lot. I think that's the main reason that holds me back from even taking a minute to dog, I seriously cannot help you right now. It's not my fault. You stayed in here when I'm doing the live chat. There's nothing happening out there. My kids are downstairs going in and out of the back door, and she can hear it, and she's starting to panic. She's like walking around my bed like, dog, go lay down. You're okay. There's no storm. There's no scary things happening. It's just the door. It's bad enough having 9 kids, but I had 2 dogs too that are like neurotic. I'll tell you what. I don't know how we ended up with the neurotic dogs of the world. But the only advice I can give you is that you just have to make a conscious decision and stick it through. It's a huge willpower thing to get back on once you have decided to take a break. And if you're going to take a break, you have to plan it. It has to be very planned. It has to be a conscious choice, and you have to have a plan for getting back on. So my suggestion to you would be to binge watch the getting ready, like the Mentor Monday videos and stuff like that. Put out your plan of what you're going to eat and go buy things that you know you like to eat and eat really high fat for the first few days, because that seems to help if you're really having a hard time getting back on track. Having really high fat meats, cheeses, and like heavy whipping cream, things like that, the first like 2 or 3 days will really kind of trick you into thinking that you're eating really decadently. Once you can get past those first 3 days, you're golden. Usually it's those first 3 days just getting back into ketosis. Your body fights it really hard. Your mind fights it really hard. They don't want to do it. They know what's coming. Your body doesn't want to put in the extra effort. It prefers to have glycogen because it's easy energy, right? And so it's going to convince you and try and convince you that what you're wanting to do is wrong and it's not going to happen. But you are in charge of your body. You are in charge of everything you put in your mouth. And so you can make the choice to do that. You can make the choice to turn your body back into a fat burning machine. So definitely shop for things you know you really like. Make your meal plan in advance. Divide it up and make sure you have super high fat foods for at least the first 3 days. Stay on top of your electrolytes, and you should be able to do it. And if you can't tomorrow, well, there's always the next day. Just don't beat yourself up, guys. Don't beat yourself up. None of us are perfect. None of us have all the answers. None of us are going to stay consistent every day for the rest of our lives. That's just unrealistic, okay? If you think that that's going to happen, it's not. But the key here is that if you can make a conscious choice to say, hey, body, guess what? I'm in charge. And this is what we're doing tomorrow. And then make it through that first day. That sense of accomplishment of making it through the first day can help lead you into the second day and into the third day and into the fourth day and beyond. I don't know that I have that willpower. And I think that's the main reason that like holds me back from being willing to make an off-plan choice. I have not made an off-plan choice since I started in January 1st, 2017, and I probably won't. At least that's the plan for the rest of my life, because I just know that I will not be, I don't know. I think I won't be able to do it, and so I probably won't because I think I can't. I need to change that mentality maybe, but I'm not ready yet. In a couple more years, we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll feel capable of doing that in a couple of years. But I also am lucky to have keto cakes right in the valley, and I know that is, when you don't have to make your own dessert, your own high fat dessert, it makes it lots easier. And so I've been lucky. In fact, today Keto Cakes messaged me and they said, guess what? We're now offering home delivery and we want to send you some cakes. What's your address? I'm like, I shouldn't have bought any this week. If they're just going to send me free ones to my house, I sure hope that's what it means. I'll take it. I'm like, they must be, I don't know if they realize how much I talk about them on my channel, but I talk about them probably like on both my channels a lot. So when they have finally shipping, I think they're going to have a huge business just from my channel because I talk about them so much. But yeah, I have access to that kind of thing for special occasions. And so I don't know if I'll ever really feel, unless they go out of business, I don't know if I'll ever really feel like I need to eat a piece of cake because I have cake. I guess, does that make sense? Anyway, so I hope that helped you, Terry Jameson. I really, really hope that you can get back on track. It is not easy, and hang in there and all of those things. My heart is going out to you right now because I know it's hard when you want something so bad, but you cannot seem to get there. And I have been there many, 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 many times in my life. Many times. It took a real wake-up call of feeling like I was literally going to die before I could get out of that. So I hope that you do not have to get to that place before you can make that choice, because you shouldn't have to. I mean, like, people shouldn't have to get to that point, but apparently for me, that's what had to happen because my brain and body was that stubborn about it. Oh, I see I have a super chat from Gloria. Hey, Gloria, I am glad to see you. That is very kind of you. You do not need to give me a super chat every week, and I do appreciate it, though. It's so sweet of you. Yes, this is a very good question and goes right along with what we were talking about. So she says, if you have met your goal, it seems like you can never just eat normal without always watching your intake. Will our set point ever be at the goal weight, or will we always be a battle to keep gaining weight? I don't know. I wish I knew the answer to that, because I think that's actually the most surprising and most difficult thing to wrap your brain around when you get there. And I think that's why maintenance is so hard. The losing weight part is actually the easy part. Everyone thinks it's the hard part, but it's actually the easy part. When you get to your goal weight, trying to figure out what you can eat, because all this time I thought, well, if I can just get to my goal, then I can go back and I can have fat bombs and heavy whipping cream and all that. Obviously, I can't, because I definitely have put on some weight. I know it can't all be water weight. I'd be a giant Oompa Loompa swollen up thing if it was all water weight. So, because as of today, that's 14 pounds in 3 months that I have gone up. There's no way I'm holding 14 pounds of water weight on my body, though. I mean, you never know. I don't feel like I am. Like, I have held that much water and I don't feel like I am. So I figure I've gained some dang weight, which is annoying, because when you're just eating things that should be safe to eat on a keto diet, and you're just eating a larger amount of them, really, it's not fair. I would imagine I've kicked myself out of ketosis with the amount of carbs I'm eating or whatever. I don't know. I do not know, because I'm not testing, and I do want to start testing for that reason, to try and figure out if there's a set point of where I get kicked so I can monitor that better. But you're right, Gloria. I think it's going to be a lifelong battle for those of us who have issues with weight and issues with insulin resistance. I think it's always going to be a battle our whole lives, and we're never going to be able to really chill. I have let myself chill these last 3 months, though. So I figure if I can just keep doing this, where I have the months that I want to chill, and I chill and maybe put on some weight, and then I have the months where I want to cut and I go back, this may be my new normal. Who knows? My new normal may be 3 months of chill and a month of cutting, and then 3 months of chill and a month of cutting, just to kind of keep things in balance, maybe. I don't know. Over the years, I hope that that's what this channel is going to teach everyone, as I figure out what works for me, and I have come up with plans on what is best for maintenance that doesn't feel restrictive, because that's the key, right? At the beginning of keto, it doesn't really feel restrictive, because you don't really get hungry like you did on carbs. But you do get to the point where the calorie intake does feel restrictive to me now. Eating less than 300, 300, yeah. Okay, I did not ever do that. 1,300. Eating 1,300 calories a day did not feel restrictive to me at almost 400 pounds, at 374. But ironically now, in the 100s, 190. Oh, I can't even believe I'm saying that. But in the 170s to whatever, I have felt like it was really restrictive. Does that make sense? So yeah, when I go back to cutting, it's hard. It's probably almost as hard as when you go off keto and try and get back on. I imagine it's not quite that hard, but it is not easy, and I do feel miserable for a while. So I'm not sure what's going to happen next month. When I go to Denver the second week of the month, I may just throw caution to the wind again and go back to it when I get home. So I don't know what I'm going to do. But yeah, I think after a long time, maybe our set point can change. But I really don't think it's just about set point. I bet it's really more about insulin resistance, and our body just does not handle high blood glucose well, and it packs it on. So anything that spikes your blood glucose to a certain level or kicks you out of ketosis so that your body goes back to trying to fish for glycogen, you never know. I mean, I think right now it's a crapshoot. I don't think it's talked about enough. I kind of get disappointed that, like with Ali McWowie, those who have actually done this for a few years, that they don't consistently talk about it on their channel. Ali doesn't make very many videos, and when she does, it's usually for weight loss, not necessarily maintenance. And so I'm hoping to be the person that changes that and makes it so that there's more talk about what to do when you get here. And because I have no mentors and I have no one to ask, because I lost those people, I don't really have anyone to ask for experience or advice. So I'm kind of figuring it out as I go along and hoping to share it with you guys. So yeah, that's the honest truth, is I just really don't know. And I'm sorry that we have to even think about that. It's easy to not think about that as we go along. But yeah, definitely that's the hardest part of weight loss is maintenance, figuring it out. I've had a lot of people messaging me privately, even that maintenance is the hardest thing they've ever done. And I just feel like yo-yo is part of life. And so maybe if I consciously choose yo-yo to a safe degree, maybe it'll be okay. Then I won't feel like I have to eat restrictively every single day, but I can do it 4 months out of the year. I don't know. That's my current thoughts, but it may change over time. Just never know. All right, let's see. Oh, I'm glad you guys needed the motivation today. I needed it too. That's why I wanted to talk about it, because I'm just like, a couple more weeks, girl. Hang in there. Nail Soul, you haven't lost anything in the last week? Yeah, it's pretty common. I wouldn't stress unless it's been 6 whole weeks. If it's been 6 whole weeks, you're eating at a deficit and you haven't lost any weight, then you probably need to look at it and tweak some things. If it's only been a week, wait it out. Wait it out. That happens to me all the time. All the time. And it has from the very beginning. I would have 2 weeks where I lost and 2 weeks where I would hold at the very beginning. And then when I got down into the 100s, when I got into Wonderland, basically it was 2 weeks of gain, 2 weeks of lose, 2 weeks of gain, 2 weeks of lose. Eating the same food consistently. So I think that's normal pattern. At least it is for me. Stephanie Richardson, you won't get sick if you stay on top of your electrolytes. The only reason people get sick on keto is because they don't supplement their sodium. So definitely watch my electrolyte videos on here. I have lots of them. One of them is in the Keto for Beginners playlist. That's probably the best place to start. But yeah, if you make sure you maintain your sodium intake, you will be fine. You will not get sick. Unless you get a cold, but you're not going to get sick from keto. Is Keto Cakes the name of the business? Yes. There are 2 of them. Well, but technically 4 near us, Steph. But the 2 that I use the most are ketocakesutah.com and keepingitketo.com. Keepingitketo.cakes.com. Keepingitketo.cakes.com. So tomorrow is the Keto Cakes Utah drop-offs, and you can buy extras at any of their stops. If you go on the website and look for their stops, you can go there and buy any of their extras for $14 for 4 cupcakes. They cost more on the day of than they do when you pre-order. Or tomorrow, same thing with keepingitketo.cakes.com. I actually prefer the taste of Keeping It Keto Cakes over Keto Cakes Utah for different reasons. But Thursdays are harder for me, so I haven't had them as much until our Thursday class is canceled. So those are the 2 I use. There's also Oh Hello Keto Bakery, and they do cookies and breads. I've never tried any of their products. And there is a sugar place, sugar something. Oh, great. I've never gone there either. Sugar Confections, I think, in Lehigh. Just look for keto cake or keto food Lehigh. I don't know. Dang it. What's the name of that place? Sugar High Confections. Woo! I remembered it. Sugar High Confections sells lots of different things keto as well, right in their store, but you have to go. I think it's on Saturdays or something. I don't know. I've never actually gone there either, which is funny because it's the closest one to me. I've made desserts, but it's hard to eat just one piece. Okay, that's true. You can really only eat one. You still need to be able to moderate yourself like that. So if you can't eat only one, then you shouldn't do it. You're not ready to do it yet. At the beginning, I basically said that I wouldn't have any at all, any like treats at all. And I didn't. The only sweetener I used was stevia, liquid stevia. And I only had it in like a little heavy whipping cream occasionally or in my like tea or whatever. For about 8 months before I dared do it. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing it if you're having trouble eating just one piece. I can easily eat just one a day. And so maybe if you're feeling like you can't eat just one, then don't do it because you're not quite ready yet. Gotta kill those cravings before you can own them, manage them. If you're still craving them or you're having trouble with binging them, it's probably not time for that yet. There are some binge-friendly foods if you feel like you need a binge, but keto cakes, that kind of thing, not one of them. Anything with almond flour in it, just don't. One at a time, guys. One at a time. Jello, sugar-free Jello, pig out all you want. Go get, that's what I do. I go get sugar-free Jello, the Winkies brand from Walmart. It's over by the yogurt in the cooler section, and the sugar, now that sugar-free spray cream. Woot, I ate like 6 of them things, and I don't even feel guilty because there's no carbs hardly at all in those. It's like free food. Though there is fat in the whipped cream. So yeah, that's my advice for that. Hey, Luz Diaz. Hello, Bittersweet. Bittersweet says, I lost 10 pounds that I maintained for 2 months. I'm back on it now, and I've lost 2 pounds so far. And I have 60 more to go. Great. That's awesome. Keep going. Keep going. Luz Diaz says, I hit MetaFast and hit goal and couldn't maintain. I started another diet, hit goal, couldn't maintain, gained everything plus. It's so hard. Just started keto the 1st of April. Yes. Okay. So that's the thing. People always say it has to be a lifestyle change, but it's true. MetaFast is keto. Okay. But it's just, you can't eat shakes for the rest of your life. And those stupid, actually, MetaFast isn't technically keto because their stupid bars and crap have tons of carbs in them. I mean, tons. So it's basically calorie restrictive, which doesn't ever put you truly into ketosis and makes you starving all the time. I don't know how anyone survives. If you're doing just the shakes and you're doing the low carb options for MetaFast, you could be in ketosis, but it's still hard. You can't maintain on that level of restriction. It's too hard. You go hog wild right as soon as you're done, right? So the beauty of keto is that you can kind of go a little bit hog wild and not put on 50,000 pounds like I did. I mean, I did that too. Lost a ton of weight on a shake diet. It was a keto diet. I didn't know it was a keto diet. I didn't know that when I went back on green smoothies and fruits that I was going to gain a ton of weight. And then I started gaining a ton of weight and I thought, well, why am I even trying to be restrictive? And I just ate whatever I wanted. It was a slippery slope. Now that I understand how keto works and why my body needs it, ketosis is key. If I want to take 3 months off and drink heavy whipping cream out of the can like I did on Sunday, I'm gonna. But I'm not gonna put on 50 pounds in a month. I put on 14 in 3. And I'm gonna probably take all of that off in a month, maybe more. That's just kind of how it usually goes. For me, at least it did last year. We'll see how it goes this year. Because a lot of that's water weight. It's not all fat. So do you see what I'm saying? Like, it really, truly, you need to wrap your brain around, if you are insulin resistant, that ketosis is your new best friend for the rest of your life. And that there's lots of satisfying foods that will not completely kick you out of ketosis, and that you can eat those and stay consistent and maybe put on a couple of pounds here and there, but it's not that extreme amount. You're going yo, and you just have to restrict, and then you gain it all back, and you have to restrict. I'm talking about trying to figure out a routine where you don't restrict keto food. You put on like 6 pounds, and then you take it back off. You know what I'm saying? Like when Allie McWowley talks about going out and partying on the weekend and having some alcohol and putting on the water weight and then spending the whole rest of the week taking it off. I don't want it to be that extreme where I put on weight every weekend, but I'm not on her lifestyle. I don't go out partying. It's not my lifestyle. I have a lot of kids. I'm a mom. Like we don't do that kind of thing. The only reason I'm eating everything in sight is to keep myself distracted from stressing out over my deadlines, because I have extreme deadlines right now. So yeah, that's my advice on that. Okay. W. Kip says, I struggle with getting in the 5,000 milligrams. Is that what it is? You put 5K, 5,000. Okay. I'm like, kilograms. Wow, that's a lot. 5,000 milligrams of sodium each day. Adding anything more than 8 grams of Sole plus vitamin water zero makes me gag. I tried swallowing Himalayan salt crystals, but it made me vomit. Ugh. That sucks. My only advice is just keep trying. Up your higher sodium foods. So make sure you're eating some bacon. Make sure you're eating, some kind of higher sodium foods. Add salt, like extreme salt, as much as you can stand to your actual food, because that can help. Like put a ton of salt on your eggs and things like that. Put a lot of salt on your steak. Try and get used to the salty flavor. Over time, your body will get used to it. And over time, you will be able to take more. Take less more often. So if all you can get in is like a gram of salt, That's like 300 milligrams of sodium or 400 milligrams of sodium. Then take a gram of salt every hour. Like do your best to just like do your best to get it in there. But yeah, over salt your foods as much as you can and keep taking the Soleil water that you can stand to take. I mean, eight grams of Soleil, that's like nothing. I mean, like I I take 22 grams at a time. So you got to try and just work your way up to it. It does make people gag at first. It really does. And it does make you vomit at first if you take too much at once. So try and just trick your body by doing it all day long. When I first started, I just had a baggie that I measured out of Real Salt brand, which is the tastiest salt to consume by mouth. So it's Redmond salt. I definitely recommend that because it's got minerals in it. Kind of tricks your body into thinking it's not straight salt. It's very tasty. And I would just take a pinch of it all day long. All day long. I didn't even keep track of when I was taking it. I just took it all day long until it was gone. And so that's an option, like, because then you can just take a pinch at a time and pop it in your mouth as you go. And it tastes pretty good, considering like the salts that you can choose from. I actually haven't tried gray sea salts, so I can't speak to the flavor on that, but it definitely tastes better than pink Himalayan or the regular sea salt you get from the store. I hope that helps. Keto Cricket says your body changes as well, especially with the dance. So you've added muscle and probably need more calories. Possibly. I did my DEXA scan a couple months ago before I started doing the maintenance, and I have continued my ballet and whatnot and my regular activities. I can definitely see a difference between how I look today. Like I've been binge watching while I've been editing. I've been binge watching season 1 of Hide and Seek, watching all of my old videos. And I looked at my first clogging video today and I was like, oh, wow, I really have shrunk my belly quite a bit. I didn't realize how much my belly had shrunk. And I probably weighed pretty close to the same that day, actually, as I did today. And I look in the mirror and I can tell that I do not look like that. So good chance, very good chance that I put on some muscle. I'd really like to get an appointment for a DEXA scan if I can the first week of June, just to see what the actual numbers look like for that 3 months of maintenance. How much fat I actually put on. I'd really, really like to know. So that's my plan, if I can make it happen, is to get a DEXA scan that first week of June and see if anything changed. Like see if my lean mass improved, or see if it went down, or see if my fat went up, or see if it went down. You know what I mean? Like I'd love to see what it really looks like under the same scanning conditions. So I will make sure I go at the same time of day with the same amount of water that I drank that day and see where I'm at that way. And I will laugh if I've gained weight, because I'm going to tell them, oh, I've been eating the calories you guys recommended. I moved up from my restrictive calories to this, and that's what happened. So if I like went up, like it's totally, I can tell them it's their fault, even though I was planning to do that anyway, which would be kind of funny, but all right. I don't know anything about Dr. Bernstein diet. I mean, I've heard of it, but so pretty much keto with B12 shots. Okay. Interesting. I haven't heard of it, but yeah, if it was working for you, that's awesome. Hey, want to be better? Heather is here. Hello. Everything is pretty well. Thank goodness. Hey, Teresa. Keto Fat Girl No More. Thank you for coming. Nail assault. I haven't decided on my goal weight either. I just have this general idea of being in the low 160s. I'm guessing if I want to maintain the low 160s, though, I'm probably going to have to be in the 150s to do that because of how much water I put on when I'm eating what I like to eat. So, yeah. How often should you recalculate your macros? I have never recalculated my macros. Ever. From the beginning. I've been using the same macros that I give out on the Facebook group. Pretty much. There's a little differences between my chart and the chart I originally started with, but ironically, my personal macros ended up being almost exactly the same on both charts. So the macros are basically set for a lean person to lose weight. So you should lose and have a deficit no matter what weight you are. If you've been 6 weeks with no change in measurements, weight, or pictures, then you may want to readjust. The only way I would readjust is by taking my DEXA scan results and adjusting my protein and whatever's based on what Dr. Finney recommends, which I did not do. I chose not to do that. It would lower my protein grams a lot, and I didn't want to lower my protein grams. If anything, I want to raise them because it makes me happy. So I wouldn't recalculate them if you're using mine. And if you're not using mine, you should use mine. Get over to the Facebook group if you're not already there. All right. Keto Grace says there's Keto Sweet Bakery cupcakes in St. George now. I wonder if that's why Keto Cakes Utah stopped going down there. Maybe they felt like it wasn't worth it because they were going down there and then they stopped. Okay. You're fangirling. Love you. So cute. Okay. Hey, from Denver, Julia C. Are you getting together with me in June when I come to Denver? Please email me, Julia, at ketochaos@gmail.com so that we can work out the details for getting together. I've had one person only email me about the Denver meetup. I don't know exactly what day it's going to be, but I'm guessing probably the 11th of June, maybe the 10th. Could be the 10th or the 11th of June. So if you want to get together with me, it would be awesome if we could work it out and you could tell me where to eat and where to tell people to meet. And maybe if enough people want me to, I could bring a cooler with a few keto cakes for you guys to try. If I need to know in advance though, if I got to buy some extras. So I need anyone from Denver to like email me so that I can get this Denver meetup to actually happen, because I'll be really sad if I go all the way to Denver and nobody wants to meet up, and then I come all the way back home and find out all these people wanted to meet me from Denver. That'll make me sad. So if you guys live anywhere near Denver, don't forget to email me. We talked about it in the last live chat, but that's what I'm planning to do is like have a dinner at a relatively inexpensive, so like a mid amount, you know, think steakhouse, but not super uber expensive steakhouse, not like $50 a plate or anything, like, you know, no more than $20 a plate. I want it to be affordable for everybody that can come. And so I don't want to buy burgers, but I want to have a piece of steak. Does that make sense? And if they have prime rib, more the better. So like Texas Roadhouse or something like that. So anyway, let's get together. Keto pizza, where can I find the recipe? Just look on YouTube for skillet pizza. There's lots of them out there, but basically just fry cheese in a pan with some toppings on it, put a little bit of sauce, and voila, you're done. It's pretty easy. Thank you so much for the thumbs up, guys. I appreciate it. Let's see. Okay, salt in the baggie, good idea. Recommend any free information by Dr. Finney? Heck yes. All of Dr. Finney's information is free. All of it. So his website is www.vertahealth.com. I usually link it in every single, I think it's linked in my descriptions, isn't it? Maybe it's not. But yeah, it's vertahealth.com. His blog has all the information on there. Everything that their newest and latest research is all on there. He does have some books, and the books are okay, but honestly, the blog has everything you need. Like, you don't need anything else. There's also, he does have YouTube channel. I can't ever remember the name of their YouTube channel. I know he has spoken quite a few times on Low Carb Down Under, I think. Is that what it is? Dang it. But if you just do YouTube search for Dr. Finney, you'll find all of his talks. The problem is his talks tends to be very sciencey, extremely confusing, and hard and dry to watch. Like, yeah. I highly recommend their blog. Their blog is the best place to get the info. Dr. Finney's blog. I know nothing about oxalates in veggies. I don't even know what that is. The only veggies I eat are an occasional spaghetti squash, sometimes a zucchini, and some salad. I don't eat a lot of them. People say you should, but I don't. Welcome, Ambi Crafts Reads. I'm glad you're here. All right. Okay, I'll bring some keto cakes, Julia, if you help me with this meetup. We got to get like a little group connected somewhere so that we can like communicate with each other and work it out. I hate primal and homemade milk. I'm lame. I'm not a soybean oil. What do you call that? Snob. I eat soybean oil all the time. I don't make a lot of egg salad and I don't make a lot of tuna salad. I don't have a lot of mayonnaise. It's an occasional thing for me just because it's not my thing. But if I do it, I just use regular mayo, usually like the olive oil one, not the Walmart brand, because the Walmart brand has a bunch of added stuff. So you got to find one that doesn't have a lot of added stuff in it. It doesn't have carbs. So that's what I usually use. All right. Okay, guys. Well, we're only 45 minutes in, but I think I'm going to go. I need to get back to editing and I am starving. I need to go make some food. I'll just talk about food. It's making me really hungry. So I love you all, and I hope that all come into the Denver meetup. And if you aren't, we could be there in spirit. Thank you again to Gloria S. for this super sweet super chat. I love you, and I'm grateful for your support of my channel. If anyone else would like to support my channel, you can support by giving super chat here, or you can go to Patreon. I have a Patreon account where people can just donate to the channel. I think actually Patreon money than super chat, but it's hard to tell with super chat because YouTube is tricky. YouTube is tricky. They do what they want, and so it's hard to tell. But yeah, if you want to support us, we're grateful. It helps me be able to keep and stay motivated to make videos and to make it a priority in my crazy life, which is really, really hard. And also just makes me feel appreciated, which makes me feel like my videos are doing a good job. So if you want to help out, I can always use the help, and I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, you guys, today. I love you all so much, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.